some thank yous before we start, just in case I haven't got the presence of mind at the end. Thank you so much to everybody for coming out on a Dreich night for the show tonight. I really, really appreciate it. I want to say a huge thank you to John, who has done the most amazing job, sound and light-wise and camera-wise. The show is being filmed and live-streamed, and there's going to be the opportunity for people to watch it later on, and to make a donation if they want to. And thank you, a huge thank you, as always, to the team who are doing teas and coffees and biscuits. You guys are amazing. So thank you so much to all of you. It's so much appreciated. If you haven't had a chance, there is a donations bowl on the way in. You can donate on the way out if you want to. Just 2 ticks, I'm going to go out and become medieval. Just stand by the side, and the lights will go down. I'll come back on and we'll start the show. The show lasts about an hour, and there's no interval. Okay. Wherever you are, well, this is not the most salubrious events for us to have been set down in, is it? I hope this food. I've been on the road since dawn. I have had nothing. It's a sign of the times. Have you seen the price of a roast chicken out there? Well, I suppose we all have our own reasons for being here. Let me see if I can guess. Business. Oh, pilgrimage. Oh, you're on the run from the sheriff, aren't you? I'll say nothing. Well, I am here with the last of my possessions to say goodbye to the world. I can imagine what you think looking at me now. Past our best, stained, a dress that belongs in a previous century. And you would be right. The wheel of fate has indeed been a pain in my very backside. True, it raised me up from a childhood marriage of wealth and beautiful things, but then it dropped me back down again to widowhood and nothingness, because my husband is gone. And now nobody seems to know who or what I am anymore. To whom do I belong? Where should I be put? I have been left here to wait. Tonight a man from the convent at St. Catherine's is coming to take me. Oh, because it's not just that I don't have a man to manage me anymore. Apparently, now, I am old. I don't feel old. Do you feel old? Or perhaps sometimes getting out of bed in the mornings. Actually, no, I don't feel old. Except when I catch somebody looking at me. And I can tell from the expression on their face that's what they see. A woman who is no longer young and desirable. My father used to say that the useful part of a woman's life is very brief. He said, "You might be young and pretty now, but after 10 fat babies, your hips will be as wide as a cart horse. Nobody will want to offend their eyes by looking at you." He thought that women were messy and uncontrollable, and that all we wanted to do was to draw men into sin. Well, puts me in a good mind not to go to the convent. It's true. I do have more than 40 years under my belt. Yes, all right, 45. But that's not a bad thing. My head is full of memories, and everyone is a sparkling gem. If I close my eyes, I could be 5 years old again, lying underneath my father's apple tree. And my brother's beside me, and he smells of, buttermilk and onions. And the daisies are tangling in my hair like jewels. Well, would you like to play a game to pass the time? We could play cards or chess, or I could tell you a story of King Arthur, which could be considered a little profane, I suppose, for one such as myself who is considering becoming holy. But who cares? I love these stories of how Arthur was guided by wizards to become our one true king, of how he gathered around him the purest hearted knights in the kingdom for his round table. But more than that, because the story, I think, has been told so many times that the truth of it has been lost. And that's why it's necessary that I tell it now, before the door of that convent closes on me, because I was there. Well, for some of it at least. And after tonight, I think no one will hear, only God, and I don't. So, close your eyes and conjure up a royal court. Camelot, the court of Arthur and his knights. Oh, I was never there, but I wanted to go so badly. I can imagine it as if it was in front of me right now. You can see them too, so many of them, because this is where everyone wants to be. Young men, the cream of knighthood, slender as young birches as they bow to gorgeous ladies with their hair in raffles of gold and silver down their backs. Everyone is dressed like a king or a queen. Silks, velvets, up to their chins and jewels and furs, and before them, every kind of food you could imagine. The soups, stews, boar, geese, venison. There are castles made entirely out of sugar. Is that your belly rumbling, or is it mine? And of course, every one of these pure young souls has been and knelt before the priest this morning to beg forgiveness for their sins, if they have any. They are all so perfect. It is heaven. It is the best of all things. And best of all, it's Christmas, a time of feasting, celebration, and games. At the head of the high table, I am sure, will sit Queen Guinevere, quite the most gorgeous woman ever to walk the earth, inside Camelot. Look at her, smiling graciously, admired by all the ladies. Oh, hello, desired by all the knights. Ha! Not that she would give anything away, of course. Or perhaps we should ask Lancelot about that. Beside her will stand King Arthur, a rage of energy. This is what they say he was like in his youth. He could not rest. Every day he insisted on seeing some new test of the strength and virtue of his knights. Until then, he would not eat. And so it begins. The door to the hall is flung open. A gust of winter chill slices through the warm-hearted assembly. A man rides in on a tall horse. If he is a man, he is taller by a foot than the tallest warrior in Camelot, all muscle. His hair hangs loose around his shoulders, but it is trimmed to match his beard. He carries a holly branch, and in one hand, a ferocious axe. But most strange of all, he is anchor green, green from his head to his toes, from his hair to his horse to his skin, except for his eyes, and those are the very red of the devil. Silence fills the hall. Until the horse and rider stand in front of the high table, Guinevere and Arthur. Arthur, to his credit, does not flinch. He begins by playing the host. Sir, you are most welcome. I am Arthur, the king. Sit, and I will see to it that anything you wish is brought to you. I haven't come to socialize. There's a nervous murmuring. Arthur tries a different tack. Well, If you have come to fight, then we are ready. There's no man in this hall who could match me for strength. I've come to you a nursery to play. Is there anyone here who is brave enough to trade blows with me with this? Somewhere on a side table, an aristocratic brunette sighs and faints. I will give this axe to any man who dares take it from me, and I will kneel down and allow him one strike at my neck with it. But in return, he must come and seek me out in a year and a day and allow me to return the favour. So, quickly then, who's my man? Eh? 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 What? Is this really Arthur's court? Arthur's fury rises. He leaps from his place. This is an idiot's game, but if you want to play, let's play. Give me your axe. But one man is about to interrupt. A young knight, fresh-faced, golden-haired. He has seen some challenges, but is yet to be tested in the way that he truly desires. Now he sees his chance. Ladies and gentlemen, our hero, my love, Gawain, nephew of the king. He has been sitting by Guinevere sharing love talk, but now he leans over to speak to Arthur. Sire, allow me to take this challenge in your place. I am the lowest of your knights, and if this creature kills me, I shall not be missed. I beg you, grant me permission to rise from the side of your queen here without dishonor to her grace and beauty. Arthur nods. Gawain steps up and takes the axe. The creature squats, pulling the hair away from its neck. Gawain is not as big as the Green Knight, but he is still strong. The axe falls, slicing through the green flesh and shearing the bone. The head rolls to the floor of Arthur's court and to the feet of the lovely knights and ladies who kick it away with the toes of their silken shoes and leather boots. Blood pools in the rushes on the floor. How many times have these young people seen a man cut down like this or in equally brutal fashion and not get up again? But the Green Knight rises. Be ready to seek me out, Gawain, in 12 months' time on New Year's morning. Ask for the Knight of the Green Chapel, and you will find me, or be forever known as the Coward of Camelot. And then he turns his horse and gallops from the hall, the hooves striking sparks from the floor. Imagine, reel back the years. Smooth out the crow's feet. Colour in the grey hairs. Picture me at 15, waiting impatiently to be seen in the draughty great hall of my father's manor. He was not a great lord. Even before all the fighting and the killing that dragged us down to nothing, the floor was always mucky with the mud dragged men. I didn't want to stay there, to be pawed by those men with their ale-stained chins and their stinking breath. I knew as soon as I could think that I was destined for better. It was a sparkling spring morning when my future husband came inside my father's walls for the first time. He was huge and wrapped in furs that made him look even bigger. He had this massive red beard. Maybe fiery red children, I remember thinking. But it didn't scare me. She's skinny. There was this old woman with him, skin like a stained old saddle that's been sat on by too many arses. She sniffed. To be fair, the hall did stink. Are you good, girl? Behind them, I could see my father. He looked as if he thought they might disembowel him right there. A week ago, this man had been battering our walls, and the talk was the old woman was a witch. I'm as good as I can be. I pray to God every day to make me more so. She smiled. If you hadn't been watching carefully, you'd have missed it. She'll do. And then she turned on her heel and left. He, my husband, deferred to her. And perhaps she had cast a spell on him. And a week later, I had left my father's home forever, and I was married. My face, my talk, and the fact that I could not say no, I think those were the reasons why I was chosen. When I first arrived at the castle, I thought it was the best moment of my life. They fed me, and they bathed me, and they perfumed me, and they did things for me. And they dressed me up in silks, bright blue, like Our Lady, Queen of Heaven. And instead of daisies, they put jewels in my hair. And even though I knew there was a price to pay for all this beauty still, I thought that I was finally arriving where I belonged. But let's go back to Gawain's story. This is where my part begins, so it's about to take a turn for the more sophisticated. The Green Knight is gone, and for a while Arthur and his court are able to pass the whole thing off as a bit of fun, the kind of that Arthur has been longing for. But a year passes, doesn't it? And even as we tell ourselves that we have weeks or months until we have to face our future, it creeps towards us. One season flowing into another, and days that seemed bright and endless become short and uncertainly lit, and the time has passed. For a while, Gawain's friends remain merry for his sake, but this is what he has trained for, yearned for all his life. So, on All Saints' Day, 2 months before the agreed date, he takes his shield and mounts his horse and sets off in search of the Green Chapel. To tell of Gawain's adventures in the 2 months that follow would be 100 other stories in themselves. He is alone night and day, sleeping outside in his armour in the rain and the snow. He travels across wild and godless lands, but nobody has heard of the Green Chapel. He battles wolves, and dragons, and wood woes. There are no more games for him. The world is a cold, hard, brutal place. On Christmas Eve morning, he kneels and prays to his Lady, the Virgin, for some godly place in which to attend Mass on Christmas Day. And then he weeps for his sins and continues on his way. Barely has he crossed himself when he comes upon a castle. You can imagine, of course, that after everything he has been through, this is quite the most beautiful castle he has ever seen. His prayers have been answered. He rides up to the walls, begs the gatekeeper to ask his lord for hospitality, and the man returns. Permission? Joyfully granted. Oh, and from the off, Gawain is treated like a prince. Gringlet, his horse, is stabled. And Gawain himself is brought to Oh, oh. Oh, a comfortable chair. Oh, in front of a hearty fire, treated to the finest food. Oh, thank you. There's wine too, rich and sweet and heady. In no time at all, Gawain is a happy man. The lord of the castle comes bounding in, beaming as if all these blessings have been granted at once. Sir Gawain, you are most welcome to Haut Desert. Sir Bertilac, by my life, God has brought us the best of knights, eh? Of all the men in Camelot, the one most famous for his courtesy of manners and purity of soul. We shall have some happy days with you. And Gawain, fresh from fighting giants, thinks that he has found another one. Because, ladies and gentlemen, Gawain has come to the home of my husband, my lord, my master. And my husband laughs in delight to have him here, and he talks and he talks. But when he listens, you think he is eavesdropping on your very heartbeat. In my chamber, I am ready for my entrance. I have been cleaned and preened and perfumed. Beside me is a flock of twittering young girls. Oh, and her, the old woman. Ever since I arrived at the castle, every day since my marriage, she has been almost always there. And even when she's not there, I feel as though she's watching me from behind a door or a hanging or suspended from the ceiling like some menacing old bat. I love my looking glass. Looking at myself is one of my best pleasures. But now she pops up to spoil the view. That I am beautiful. Next to me, she's frankly offensive, with her mottled, dripping skin and her withered old lips. And while I am all summer and freshness and colour, she is wimpled up to her chin and over her head in black. It's as if we are so disgusted by her that we try to hide her away. It annoys me immensely that while I am clearly the more beautiful, she looks so satisfied with her shriveled old bag of a self. But I never say anything. She may be a hag, but she could kick me back on my arse to my father's pigsty in a heartbeat. Time to go. Go where? To the chapel. We do not sit with the men in chapel. They do not like to be distracted during the service. But as we leave, we suddenly, he is there. Imagine that moment when we meet for the first time, when he takes my hands in his for the first time. I should lower my face modestly, but instead I look up and I smile, and he smiles back. It is a good start. My husband introduces us. Gawain bows to the old woman first, age before beauty, I suppose. But me he embraces closely and kisses on the cheek. He smells of rose water and sweat, and beneath that, of horse. As guest of honour, he is placed beside me over dinner, and we talk. I do as I have been taught, inquiring politely after his family, laughing at his jokes, widening my eyes a little at the stories of his exploits. But tell me of the ladies of Camelot. What do they wear? What are they singing? What do they do all day? Have you ever been to our Camelot? No, I've always wanted to go. That much is true. I would have remembered if you'd visited us. You would have cast all the other ladies into the shade with the radiance of your beauty. He is perfect for me, clever and pretty. But we're only playing a game. I am, after all, the wife of his host. There is music and singing and dancing. At the end of the evening, I am sent away to stand with the other women in the corner of the hall, while my husband sits with him and drinks with him, roaring with laughter. You'd think they were the oldest of friends. But tell me, what dreadful quests can have brought you from your Camelot at this time of year, eh? So Gawain explains how he must at all costs find the Green Chapel before New Year's morning, or risk losing his reputation as the finest of knights. Well, you can relax in your bed another few days then, eh? Green Chapel only lies a few miles down the road from here. But while you're here, let's have a wager. Tomorrow, you should stay here, make yourself at home. But here's my promise. Anything that I win in the woods, I give to you. It's yours to keep. And anything that you win here in my absence, you give to me. Come, let's shake on it. And Gawain can only laugh and nod. You are a most delightful host. Let's play. And they drink, and I drink a little. And we carry on carousing until it's time for bed. When I was young, my father sent my brother John away to train as a warrior. He didn't want to go. But my father said that even if you ended up with your arms or your legs or your head chopped off, the way to success as a knight was through glory and war. We were only 8 and 10. He didn't know what to do with the fury of tears and wailing that he unleashed. So he clipped me on the arse and shouted at me for making my brother weak. Small wonder then that after John was gone and my father claimed that he was now a pearl in paradise, I turned my back and left the first chance I had. My father said that I would be forgotten by everybody except my children and my children's children, and eventually even them. But listen, because I'm about to tell you how I went into battle. The night turns. I've already heard my husband leave and the clatter of hooves and the yelping of hounds as they set off, so I know it's time for me to move. It's only a short distance from my chamber to the chamber given to Gawain, the finest in the castle. But the servants are already up, and what's more, I have to go past the old woman's room. We'd just like the old hag to be awake at this time. So I slide off my slippers and I tiptoe down the corridor as quickly as I can. It doesn't take me long. He's still in bed and sleeping, apparently. Perhaps his eyelids are clamped shut a little more tightly than you would expect of someone who's genuinely asleep. No matter. He lies like that for a long time. I sit for longer. Oh, look at him sleeping. His hair is tumbled over his forehead and his skin is pink with heat. It's perfect. It's almost perfect. It makes me want to hold onto his handsome head to keep it safely attached to his shoulders. Finally, his eyelids flutter open on eyes soft as doves. Immediately, his face is seized with an expression of alarm. It's overdone, and then he actually crosses himself, as if I'm one of those monsters who's been battling on his journey. Oh, sir, do you think I'm some devil that you have to defend yourself against? I think anyone could have snuck in here while you were snoring. And now look, I have you trapped. Oh, the look on his face. But he is clever. Well, my fair lady, it seems that I am at your mercy. Mercy being, of course, a feminine virtue. By your leave, may your prisoner dress himself so that we may speak more comfortably. I have better orders for you. Stay in your bed. I am going to be your queen, your very own Guinevere, and you are my prisoner, because everybody says that you are the finest knight in the world, and what with my husband and his men out hunting, and everybody else busy or in bed, and the door shut tight with a bolt, it's up to me to make sure that all your needs are cared for. What is your desire? Whatever pure joy is your desire, my lady, is also mine. Oh, I love him. Then I demand service. If you want your freedom, you have to win it. Tell me about your shield. Very well. This is the pentangle, the endless knot, which is a sign of pagan witchcraft, is it not? No. It is a sign of the virtues which bind together the brotherhood of knights. You see, there are 5 points, and each point represents 5 qualities of knighthood, and each 5 depends on all the others. Flawless, impenetrable, perfectly formed. I think those words describe you very well. And here, on the other side, where I may always see her, an image of Our Lady, the Virgin, so that my courage may never fail me. And there she is, veiled and demure, the Immaculate Queen of Heaven. Tell me about your most terrifying adventure. And so on. The minutes wisp away like sparks from a fire. Outside the chamber, I can hear the castle starting to come to life. Oh, I must leave. He agrees far too readily for someone who's been lapping up my admiration for the past few hours. But before I go, it's plain to me, magnificent though your exploits undoubtedly are, you cannot be Sir Gawain. Why? He thinks his manners are at fault. I have hit him spot it. Well, no man as famed for his politeness as Gawain is would ever have stayed so long with a lady and not asked for a kiss. It is a direct attack. No matter how hard I have pushed him this morning, he has remained totally chaste. Your queen, I am at your command. I laugh again, but only a little this time, and then I lean forward and I take his face in my hands, his stubble in my palms, and then I kiss him once, and then I go. I have never seen a man get himself to mass as quickly as he does that morning. My husband returns home before dinner. Exhausted and exhilarated and covered in muck and blood, he brings with him a slaughtered deer and he spreads the flesh in front of him like a butcher. These winnings are yours, Gawain, according to our contract. Are you happy? And Gawain nods and steps up and embraces my husband, holding him more closely than he ever has me. And then he kisses him, in a knightly manner, of course. Indeed I am, and this kiss represents my winnings. I give it you freely, and would do, even if it were more. Well, this is some profit. Would be better still if you would tell me where it came from, eh? That wasn't part of our agreement, so don't ask me again. He has defended me. He has been loyal to me. And they talk and drink and laugh and drink some more. And in front of the whole court, they agree to play the same game tomorrow. Well, the cock has crowed only 3 times, and already my husband is off on the hunt again. Meanwhile, our young knight sleeps safe in his soft covers, and it's time for me to return to battle. When I draw back the curtains from round his bed the second morning, he's already awake, and he welcomes me warmly. Sir, I am inestimably grateful to you for everything you taught me yesterday about knightly virtue. I am, after all, a young and ignorant girl. However, despite my youth, I also have lessons to teach you, and you appear already to have forgotten what I told you yesterday.
Well, what was that?
Oh, I told you about kissing.
Well, what if I had asked and been refused? Then I should have been at fault.
Honestly, as if anyone could refuse you anything.
Well, your speech is very flattering. I am yours to kiss at your command.
So I do. Yesterday, when you told me all about knighthood, you forgot to mention an essential part. Well, the skillful practice of love. And you're so wise, you ought to be ready to teach an eager pupil like me. Or do you think I'm too stupid to learn?
I am your servant, as always. What is your desire today?
We must dance.
We did dance yesterday and the night before.
Only once or twice, and you were so busy listening to my husband bellow.
We have no music.
Well, fortunately, you sing like a nightingale, and obviously I am also very good. I take his hands and I pull. I think he is surprised by my strength, or perhaps his resistance is weakening. La sumerese comini in luda sing cuckoo. La 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 la. Sing cuckoo. La 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 la. La 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 la. Sing cuckoo, sing cuckoo, sing cuckoo, sing cuckoo, sing cuckoo, sing cuckoo. Sing cuckoo. You will not be surprised to learn that he dances like the angels, except that when he takes my hands in his, I feel it. And we talk until, sensing that the day is waning, I kiss him again. And then I go. My husband and his men arrive home in the late afternoon. Sliced open, swinging from a pole, a pig is brought into our beautiful hall, my husband bubbling over with his bloodlust. Gawain, Gawain, it's the knight he wants as soon as he sees him. They're standing close together, arms around each other's shoulders. Gawain pretends to battle with the pig's head to please his host, and the big man roars with laughter and claps Gawain so hard on the back, I think he might fly right across the hall. Take this game as your own, Gawain. That was our agreement, remember? And Gawain steps up and gives my husband 2 dainty kisses.
Well, this is some night. 1 yesterday, double that today. You'll be rich in no time at this rate.
And the whole hall shakes with their laughter. My husband grabs my wrist and pulls me close. Ah, he stinks. Wash before dinner. This is the most that I've ever dared demand of him. I turn to go, but he twists my wrist so tightly that the skin burns.
We'll have to wait for dinner. My wife here is mithering me to smell as sweet as young Miss Gawain.
We eat dinner late. Gawain sits beside me. There's plenty of chat, and some of our men stand and sing carols and other Christmas songs, but I don't let anyone take his attention away from me for more than a few minutes at a time. Not so much with talk tonight, but more with looks and smiles and a familiarity which shows we have come to know each other. After all, I have been at his bedside for 2 mornings now. We have been very close. For the first time, I see uncertainty in his face. He's thinking, Everyone can see how I'm treating him, the favour that I'm showing him. How soon before people start to talk? And where will that talk end? My husband? Camelot? But more than that, I can see that he likes it. And the more that I smile at him with my little white teeth, the more he likes it. At the end of the evening, when my husband summons him over to sit beside him at the fire, I hear Gawain ask for permission to leave the following day. Well, tomorrow is New Year's Eve, and he must be ready to meet his challenge at the Green Chapel. I promise you, as I'm an honest, I will love you at your Green Chapel in good time to meet your doom on New Year's morning. One more day to play our wager, eh? Man can be muddy any time. Let's keep on making merry while we can. And Gawain nods, and soon we are all in bed again. As usual, my husband is away before dawn. I am tired. None of us have slept much this Christmas season. But for the sake of love, I cannot allow myself to rest. I have chosen a gown which sweeps the floor like a whisper. Nothing on my head except my jewels, and my face and my neck and my shoulders are all bare. I hurry down the corridor towards his room, and then the door beside me opens a crack, and I see the old woman's shriveled face peering back at me. I don't move. I can hardly breathe. I can almost feel her talons in my ear tearing me back. But instead she nods. I've seen the knights give each other the same sign sometimes before they head into battle, and then the door closes. I run to him. Nothing will stop me now. Wake up, Gawain, the morning is beautiful. No, but he's still sleeping. And I can see at once that he's troubled. Oh, he's dreaming of his confrontation with the Green Knight. I'm certain of it. Who wouldn't be? Poor Chuck. So I do what I can, and I drop a friend's kiss on his face. And then another. But he will not fail me. No. His blue eyes open wide, and as soon as he sees me, I can tell he's delighted. It's more than mere politeness. Our conversation is the easiest it has been since his arrival at the castle. Except that I can see his shield propped up beside his bed, and the image of the Virgin smiling at me serenely, like a reflection, but not of me. But time, more than ever, is our enemy. This thing between us must be brought to a conclusion. Sir, tell me truly, is there a woman somewhere else that you love? Does it hold you back? Oh, there's no one. There won't be. Not for a long time. I stand as if I'm about to leave, and I wait for him to stop me. He doesn't. Are you afraid of meeting the Green Knight? Afraid of fighting? Afraid of being injured or killed? I am a knight. This is the life that I have chosen. He sounds convincing. Allow me to give you something of mine, to remember me by, to soften the blow of losing you, my sweet Gawain. I pull a ring from my finger. It's one of my finest, burnished gold with a stone that glows like the sun. He turns it down. What if your husband or someone else were to see it, realize that you'd given it to me so privately? What would they think? What if it was something else? A mere, small something. Underneath my dress, wrapped tightly against my skin, is a green belt. It is beautiful, emerald silk, and it is still warm for my body. His eyes almost pop out of his head, but he turns it down, of course. Reject my silk, something so simple. Oh, for shame. You know, the old woman gave this to me, and she told me that any man who wrapped it around his body would be safe from the blow of any weapon and could never be killed, not for all the treachery in the world. He hesitates. For the first time since I met him 3 days ago, he doesn't know how to behave. He's thinking of his meeting with the Green Knight and what might follow after, if he can survive it. I wonder if he ever saw me in that future. Tell me more. So I hit him with all my powers of persuasion, begging him to take the girdle, as if my life also depended upon it. Oh, and it is so soft and comfortable to wear, and it smells of me. Finally, he gives one sharp nod. I know you'll say nothing of this to my husband. You have my word. And he starts to thank me, spilling with gratitude. I can't listen to any of it, so I shut him up with one last kiss, and then I go. My husband returns home. The hall falls silent as he strides along its length. His feet seem to hit the floor like hammer blows. And then I see that Gawain himself has sprung from his place and is speeding towards my husband, as if they're galloping towards each other and the lists about to collide. And then Gawain stops and raises his arms and seizes my husband's huge body. I see Gawain quiver as he bestows 3 kisses upon his host. As they separate, I see the face of my husband, my lord, my master. Is that your lot? Gawain nods. Well, you have done well for yourself. I've been out all morning. All I've brought back is this stinking fox. And he casts the bloody defeated carcass at the knight's feet. I thank you. I thank you as truly as I can. We have the most furiously joyful of our evenings together. It's as if we were trying to stall time or chase into submission, but finally people start to drift and take their leave, and the time has passed. I can't tell you how he sleeps on that last night, whether the battle to come disturbs his dreams, but I can tell you how these games play out for the knight and for me. Sing cuckoo, sing cuckoo, sing cuckoo, sing cuckoo. It is Gawain's judgment day. I do not sleep, but at first light I creep to my window and watch as Gringolet is brought out stamping into the courtyard. Oh, and then Gawain himself. Even from this distance I can see that his armour shines like its very own sun. He leaps onto Gringolet, and they pass him his shield with a pentacle on one side and the Virgin on the other. As he rides out through the gates of the castle with my girdle hidden snug underneath his armour, he looses his reins to cross himself, but he does not look back for me. This is the last of the story that I see for myself. What remains is what is told to me by my husband and the old woman, but I believe most of it to be true. One of my husband's men leads Gawain out across the wild countryside until the sun casts a cold, pale light across the land, and the servant stops. Sir, I would never forgive myself if I didn't tell you what I know of the creature who lives in this green chapel you're seeking. Oh, he's a wild man, a monster, and he shows no mercy. He kills anyone who passes his lair, and he takes pleasure in it. Oh, sir, go home. Go with God. I'll not breathe a word of it. Later, I will pay this man to tell me how Gawain stiffens in his saddle when he hears this. I thank you for your kind consideration, but I swore I'd meet the creature, and I never break my word. So the man directs Gawain to a ravine that lies immediately ahead of them, and then kicks his horse away as quickly as he can, leaving Gawain alone. There is no sign of life, nothing that Gawain would call a chapel, just a mound that bulges up by the side of a brook that boils and seethes like the devil's own cauldron. I am sure that he takes a moment to look at his shield and the image of the Virgin to remind himself that he is her knight, a knight who fights for good. Suddenly, there is a nightmarish rasping sound like 1,000 grinding teeth. It is the sound of an axe being sharpened. This is his moment. This is the challenge that he will be remembered for. I'm here. Come quickly, or miss your chance. The grinding stops. And then here he is, as huge and monstrous as he was 12 months ago, the Green Knight. Green from his head to his toes, and in his hand, a brute of an axe. So, you've come then. Welcome to my place. Time for you to repay your debt. On your knees, helmet off. We'll see if you can sit as still as I did when you chopped my head off 12 months ago. I am ready. But as Gawain kneels in the snow and his face can no longer be seen, he finds he has to make an effort not to tremble. And that could have been that, except that from the corner of his eye, Gawain sees the axe coming and he flinches. Call yourself Sir Gawain. Did I flinch away when you chopped my head off 12 months ago? Did I flounce off when my head came off? I don't think so. I have never met such a namby-pamby knight in all my years of beheading. I did flinch. But next time I won't. And don't forget that once my head's off, it's gone for good. Down the axe flies, down towards Gawain's soft, pale neck, until at the very last moment, using all its strength, the monster stops it in its tracks. Gawain doesn't move. Or perhaps he can't. Right then. Now you've got your courage back. I'll dispatch you properly. May all the praise and flattery heaped on you at Arthur's court preserve that lovely neck of yours. Get on with it, or I'll start to think you're all hot air. The axe shrieks, and this time it strikes. It deflects. Scarlet blood spurts from Gawain's neck, but it's only a scratch. He knows it immediately, rejoices inside. He leaps the length of a spear, seizes his sword and shield, kisses the image of the Virgin, and is ready for battle. Our games are played out as agreed. Lay down your axe. Easy, tiger. You're right. Consider yourself released from any further blows. But think on. Twice
I stopped my axe from striking you for those 2 mornings when you kissed my pretty wife and passed those kisses on to me according to our contract in my castle. But that 3rd morning, you strayed a little, took something that was mine, so I had to scratch you. That girdle you were wrapped around your belly, the one my wife gave you to save your life, that belongs to me. And Gawain stares in silent disbelief as he realizes that he is looking at my husband. You can relax, young man. I know everything. My wife came to you at my command. She was your test, you see, not the Green Knight. You didn't know when you were facing your real challenge. In the bedroom, not on the battlefield. But come, you've not shown yourself to be a sinful man or a womanizer. Your only fault was that you loved your life, and I can't blame you for that. Here, you're a pearl among knights. If only I had been there, I could have told him. They did send me to him every morning, but I still chose to go. I still had a choice. But Gawain can hardly bear to stand before my husband knowing what he knows. But Gawain is only a man, after all. I have been cowardly and greedy. My desire to save my skin has made me forget the loyalty and the purity that belongs to every knight. I have failed in my faith. I'm not the knight that I desired to be. You've paid your penance underneath my axe. Here, keep the girdle as a token of having passed this challenge with me. Come back with me to my castle, eh? New Year's far from over and my wife will be waiting for you. Thank you, but I think I have lingered long enough. I suppose it's small wonder I should have fallen for the games of a girl. It's always been that way. From Adam onwards, excellent men have been ruined by cunning vipers, so I will keep your girdle. But only so that when I am pricked by pride, I can look at it and remind myself of my failings. Please yourself. But you have more in common with us than you realize. That old woman you met at my castle, it was her who transformed me, led me to Camelot. She hoped I'd scare Queen Guinevere to death, as it happens. But she learned her dark arts from you and Merlin. And she's a blood relative of yours, I believe. Come back with me. There's a place for you in my home. But Gawain will not. Instead, he turns his horse and rides back to Camelot. And on his way, he ties my girdle in a sash across his chest, so that when he arrives home and all the lovely knights and ladies demand to know the story of it and the wound upon his neck, he twists in shame and tells them that both are a sign and reminder of his sin. But Camelot is a merry place, and Arthur laughs consolingly and commands all of his knights to wear a sash just like Gawain's as a token of his perfection, so that everywhere he goes, he sees my green, and every time he sees it, he thinks of me. Or so I believe. I never saw him again. I never went to Camelot. Is gone, and so is Arthur's court.
So many were lost in the wars that followed on from its fall, including my big green husband, the old woman, Morgan Le Fay, just disappeared. I don't know where she went. I don't care where. They sent me in there and they played me like a piece for gambling, and I never forgave that. He was not perfect. And me? Well, I waited. For a long time, I hoped that he would come back for me. And as the years passed, I had those fiery red children, and I started to fade. And nobody's eyes lingered on me any longer. I suppose it's small wonder I should have fallen for the games of men. It's always been that way. From Eve onwards, excellent women have been ruined by the stories that men tell us about ourselves. So I do remember my failings, but also theirs. Betrayal is a terrible thing. Women's lives are very strange when you think about it. We change so much from year to year, from child to throbbing teenager, desperate to be admired, to modest wife or not, and mother. At every stage, I think we believe we're at our best. We look at other women who are yet to reach the age we're at, or who have passed us, and we shake our heads at them as if they were other animals. But my father was right. We women are messy and uncontrollable, gloriously so, even when we are hidden away. The old woman understood this. It took me a long time to realize it, but now I see. And these days, sometimes I wonder whether there's more power in being able to turn a man's head or in having the freedom not to care. Nowadays, I rejoice in being another year older. I am still here, and I know a lot more things than I knew this time last year. I have persisted. We're at the end of the story. The story of Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, and of Arthur and Guinevere and their gorgeous court, and the story of me and the stink of my father's hall, and my brother swinging in our apple tree, and my marriage to a man who destroyed my father. Oh, and the swish of my blue silk gown the first time they dressed me up at the castle. Oh, and my little boy pulling himself up on my skirts to take his first steps. And of the wars, and of waiting. It is a fine, beautiful life, a big life, and it deserves to be remembered. Tell the story. Oh, don't forget me. Oh, I haven't even told you my name. He's here. My name is... Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here tonight again. And I'm just going to say another huge thank you to the wonderful, wonderful John and the wonderful, wonderful tea and coffee team. Yeah, thank you so much. If you've enjoyed the show, please come and talk to me about it. Please tell other people about it, because I've been doing this for 8 years. So I'll probably do it again. So, you know, if you've enjoyed it, pass it on. But yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming tonight and being here. You've been absolutely lovely. Thank you.
Debbie, I believe that tonight we have witnessed something that is nothing short of spectacular. Your storytelling is mesmerising and captivating, and wow, I think when I go home this evening, I'll be going back through that story and drawing on so many more of the details than I was even able to take in tonight. You are incredibly talented. And not only that, I'm incredibly grateful to you for offering to put on such a performance for us. So I think we are truly blessed by your talent this evening. Thank you so much. Friends, there's tea and coffee available, and I do hope that we might have this performance again, because I would like other people to have that opportunity. But shall we say thank you once more today?